over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. Even better, Pond Lehocky doesn't charge a dime until you win. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Where else can you roll the dice, spin the wheels, enjoy a variety of dining options and entertainment in Fishtown? Look no further than Rivers Casino. Take a chance on our $15 table games where the stakes are high and the fun never ends. From blackjack to craps to Spanish 21, we've got something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Roll into the excitement with $15 table games at Rivers Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Did you know one of the world's fastest growing fintechs is right here in Philadelphia? Meet Freedom Pick, the next level technology reinventing the world of commerce. We are a network of winners, which is why we're proud to be a partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Get to know us. We will show you technology that can transform your business. Or come work with us and become part of our global team. Freedom Pick.
When it comes to unique experiences, pick Tick Pick. You're picking the official fan experience partner of the Philadelphia Eagles with no hidden fees ever. So pick Tick Pick for your next Eagles game for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. From exclusive tailgates at Lincoln Financial Field to the opportunity to bring the American flag on the field pregame. Don't let fees get between you and a great game day. Download the Tick Pick app and enjoy the best experiences supporting your Philadelphia Eagles this year.
At Hyundai, peace of mind comes from quality you can count on. That's why Hyundai vehicles offer advanced safety features to help you stay safer on the road, which led to Hyundai having 9 2024 IIHS top safety picks this year. Peace of mind. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson SE for only $259 a month. Or get 1.99% APR for 48 months. Hyundai is a proud partner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Offers end February 3rd. Call 661-615-2112 for details.
94 WIP HD1 Philadelphia. Sports Radio 94 WIP presents the Eagles Radio Network. The Eagles sent Green Bay packing.
He could have taken that to distance, but he said, I will fall down and run out the clock.
Today, it's the divisional round.
In playoff football, embrace the adversity, and that's really another way of saying, hey, play the next play.
As the Eagles host the Los Angeles Rams. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, PDQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Verizon, and Piazza Auto Group. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Welcome to the Verizon Pregame Show, the Philadelphia Eagles, powered by Verizon, alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Shore-Parks, Ruben Frank. I'm Joe Giglio as we get set for the NFC Divisional round, the Eagles and the Rams, and a trip to hosting the NFC Championship Game on the line. Guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are a win away from a home game next week, 2 wins away from a trip to Super Bowl 59. Ike Reese, good afternoon.
I'll let you, boy.
Hey.
Is my mic on? Okay, there we go.
You ready?
Boy. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm ready. You kidding me? You see last night?
Oh, I saw it.
Well, I told you, if Washington went in there and beat Detroit last night, it amplifies this game by 10, man. Are you kidding me? We got a chance to host the NFC Championship Game right here next week. That's what we got a chance to do, Joe.
Let's do it. Let's
take care of business today.
It's all on the line today. Hugh Douglas, how we feeling?
I'm good.
There we go.
I'm excited. No, I'm excited. I mean, but like to echo what Ike was saying, basically, this game is amplified. It's time to go, man. You got to take care of business today. Nothing happens until we take care of business today. Got to take care of business.
Well, Elliot, watching that game last night, especially as the Commanders got a lead, held a lead, it did amplify it, and it really put into perspective how close the Eagles are to something special, and it starts today against the Rams.
Yeah, the path to winning the Super Bowl is right there. The path to the Super Bowl goes through Philadelphia, and I think when you look around the league, the path to winning the Super Bowl goes through the Eagles. I think they're the best team in the playoffs, still standing. And look, Eagles games are always exciting, but today you come to the stadium with knowing something special could happen. The weather could add to it. This could be a game we talk about for a really, really long time. They got to go win it. I know we'll get into the actual game, but, man, I'm excited for this one to start.
Well, let's talk about that too, Ruben. The weather. You've seen a lot of these games, and we could have a significant weather game today, which adds to the intrigue of this matchup.
Yeah, and we'll see how much it ends up affecting the game, how much snow we get and all that. I do think it's important to jump on top early when the conditions aren't as bad as they might be in the second half. And, the Eagles have gotten better at scoring early the last few weeks. So, there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, with the Shady game, we had no idea it was going to turn out like that when that day started. So I think they'll be all right. I think the weather is a concern. If it's really bad, it tends to equalize things a little bit. But, I don't care if it's snowing, volcanoes, earthquakes. I think the Eagles are a better team. They're going to win the game.
All right, let's talk about that. The Rams, what kind of challenge is this? Elliot, when the Eagles played the Rams in Los Angeles late November, if you had asked me if they're going to be here in the middle of January, I would have said no. They just didn't look that good. They have changed. They've been better. They're coming off a game. They beat the Vikings on Monday night. How serious of a challenge are the Rams in your mind?
So talk to the Eagles. If you're talking to the Eagles players this week, they are convinced that this Rams team is a very different team than the one they played about a month ago or 2 months ago, whatever it was at this point. And the stats back that up. Their defense has been much better over the last 7 games. We saw what the offense did on Monday night against the Vikings. But while they are a challenge, they are not anywhere close to where the Eagles are as a team. The Eagles have the better offense. They have the better defense, the better head coach, and the better quarterback. So the Rams, if the Eagles play a poor game today, yeah, they're capable of beating them. But if the Eagles play their A game, there should be a lot of celebrating happening in the early fourth quarter.
So I agree with the A game, and I agree the Eagles are better. But that coach and quarterback are pretty darn good, Elliot. I mean, they did win the Super Bowl a few years ago. To me, that's the challenge today. Those two make this interesting.
Yeah, Sirianni and Hurts are pretty good too, though.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to talk about resumes over the last 3 years or even for their whole careers, McVay definitely has an impressive resume, no question about it. But over the past few years, which I think is a more relevant time frame, Sirianni and Hurts have been the better head coach and quarterback. So not to diminish McVay or Stafford at all. They are a very good quarterback head coach duo. But the Eagles also have a very good quarterback head coach duo.
This sort of veteran quarterback concerns me a little bit. Those are the quarterbacks the Eagles have had trouble with as opposed to a younger guy. Stafford's, one of the all-time best postseason quarterbacks. Look, I like the matchup with this secondary. They're I think, the best secondary in the league. But he is a little bit of a concern because he's seen everything. He's been through everything. He won a Super Bowl. He's won a lot of playoff games. So if you can get to him and get him on his back and sack him a few times, hit him, I don't think he wants to be out here in the cold. I think that'll go a long way to winning this game.
Ike, you're feeling on the Rams? I mean, last time we saw them, Saquon Barkley ran for 255, over 300 total yards. They won by 17. It does feel like the Rams feel different. The Eagles feel similar to that team they were that night. No Brandon Graham, no N'Kobe. We'll get to that. But the Rams feel like they've changed a little bit the last 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, listen, give them credit. They certainly are maximizing their potential. But the bottom line is they have a ceiling to how good they can be, in my opinion. And so if we're going to say both teams at their best, the Eagles will beat this team. Yeah, so basically we're saying, okay, will the Eagles play down to a lesser level and allow the Rams to steal this game? That's really what this is all about, right? I mean, the Eagles' defense, in my opinion, if the Eagles' defense plays its game, this Rams offense, to me, isn't explosive enough. They want to move the ball down the field methodically, and eventually Vic Fangio's defense is going to win out in that situation. Offensively, we got to do what we do best, which is run the football against this defense. They're a good young defense, and if you get in a lot of second and long, third and long situations, they can get after you, right? But if you win on first down and second down, now we're looking at 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1. That's how the Eagles win this game. Methodically, Saquon taking over in the second half. This defense should smother that offense. The Rams are a good team. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect the game to be easy. But it's more about the Eagles playing down than versus the Rams really can play at a level to beat the Eagles if they're playing at their best.
Well, and to what Ike was saying about winning against that defensive line, the Rams' defensive line is probably the best unit they have. You could argue Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, but I think that defensive line is the best unit. But what they're not is big. The Eagles' offensive line is one of the biggest units in the NFL. Mekhi Becton and Landon Dickerson have to be the biggest guard combination in the league, and then obviously the tackles are huge. As good as Byron Young is, as good as Jared Verse is, they're undersized. So in a game where the footing might not be great and the weather could be a problem, I like the size of the Eagles' offensive line pushing the Rams' undersized defensive line.
It's not a good defensive line against the run. They're small. They're quick. They like to rush the passer. I mean, Eagles' O-line is going to just dominate them.
Yeah. I mean, we say this every week, get a lead, but this day feels like the most important time to say that all year, right? If the Eagles have a lead, the Rams are not going to be able to just pin their ears back and rush the quarterback. The Eagles could run the football on them. And I think depending on the weather, it's going to be harder to throw as the day goes along. Get that lead. And Hugh, you've talked all week about keep this simple. I mean, the playoffs have shown us so far, turnovers have been the great killer of these teams. The Lions last night lost that game mostly on their turnovers.
Yeah,
and if you run the ball, it likely limits the Eagles' chances to turn the ball over.
Yeah, that's why I just and I hate to harp on it, but I just found it crazy when folks were calling in talking about they didn't care about the fact that Jalen didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
That's what killed that team, the Detroit Lions, last night, was the fact that they kept trying to throw the ball and they turned the ball over. Do what you do best in a game like this. Control the line of scrimmage. You know you can control the line of scrimmage. Run Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley weighed 230-some pounds. He's probably just as big or a little bit smaller than the defensive lineman that you got trying to tackle him.
Yep.
And if you get those big guys going downhill, you start to eat up the clock. See, this is what today should be. You should limit the possessions of the Rams team by running the ball, controlling the clock, eating up the clock, taking your time, and just running the clock down. And force, if he wants to throw the ball, let him throw the ball all over the schoolyard. I don't think it's going to be that effective today because of the weather. But what is effective in a game like this is the running game, and we run the ball pretty good.
You know, the Eagles are 31-2 when they win the turnover margin under Nick, which is and one of the two losses was the first game. So 31-1 in their last 32. So those are pretty dominant numbers if they protect the ball. And that's why they're winning. This formula is so good. Run the ball, play defense. Don't go play risky football. Don't be super aggressive when you don't need to, and you're going to win the game.
Yeah. Well, I think that, especially with Sirianni's decision-making. Last week, we saw him punt on a 4th and 4 from the 46. I feel like earlier in the year they go for that. I think we've come a long way to where he trusts the defense now and doesn't think they're going to get beat. So I'm okay with that. With the way they're playing right now, I trust this defense too.
Oh, but listen, I'm proud of Nick, man. Proud of him.
He came a long way.
Proud of him, man.
Taking the points, just like
yes,
I always wanted. There we go. Take the points.
Man.
Yeah.
Take the points. Punt him, hit him.
Or punt. Yeah. Or
defense.
Punt. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, that's the team they have this year. I mean that's it.
And you're exactly right. And here's the thing, T-Roy, you have to play to who you are. And I'll say this: there could be games or circumstances that dictate differently. There were a couple times last night that I'm watching that game, and I was okay with Dan Quinn's decision to go for it versus taking points. Your defense, Washington defense can't stop anybody either.
Yep.
So they were giving up points, and you had to know you're going to have to outscore Detroit to win that game. So I understand that. But if you got a team like ours,
you got to know. Yeah.
You got to know, just got to have a feel for the game. And I think he's fully understand that. More importantly, he's convinced those who play by the numbers and live by the numbers. He convinced those guys to, let me do this. I got a feel for this thing. We'll win football games. Because, analytics department.
The guys whose offices are on the second floor.
I'm just saying. He had to convince those guys that we can't do everything that analytics say we should be going for.
Well, and that's the other part of this game. The best unit in this game is the Eagles defense.
Yes.
They're better than the Rams defense. They're better than the Rams offense. And one thing the Rams do, Rube, you talked about this. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. There we go. Is if you can get to Stafford, he will turn the ball over. He's 4th in the league this year in turnover-worthy plays. Last time he played at the Linc in the snow, he fumbled it 5 times. So we'll see how heavy the snow is. But regardless, if that defensive line can make Stafford hold that ball for an extra second, and that'll be up on the secondary too. Get up on the line. Don't let them get a free release. Stafford, even just a half second, full second more, you can get to him and he'll make bad decisions. So a key today is absolutely getting in Stafford's face.
All right, coming up, we'll talk more about our quarterback, what we need out of him today, how he played last week, and what the Eagles need from Jalen Hurts. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Are you tailgating yet? Stop by the WIP Toyota Tailgate Zone next to the Wells Fargo Center to check out Toyota vehicles and get some swag. Thanks to your local Tri-State Toyota dealers, proud partner of the Eagles. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.
When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes to storage solutions. And we get the job done fast. In just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without the hassle. So trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com and let's cook up something extraordinary.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
The working families of Long Island Labor District Council of Pennsylvania, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia are proud contributors to all aspects of growth in this great city. The Labor District Council provides safe, well-trained, productive workers who enable projects to be done on time and under budget. We appreciate our signatory contractors and their commitment to fairness and equality. Laborers, we're building a better future today.
Brought to you by the Laborers District Council Licit Fund.
Benefits, HR, hiring, payroll, it's all so complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Joe Carfagno from Clear Employer Services, and we can expertly handle benefits, HR, hiring, and payroll for your small business. You don't have to wing it. Let me take the headache out of HR. No time for payroll? HRuncomplicated.com. New medical plans, new talent? HRuncomplicated.com. Let Clear Employer Services show you how to make HR uncomplicated so you can go back to running your business.
Preferred vendor of Independence Blue Cross. Visit HRuncomplicated.com.
It's a long season, but one thing is sure, Birds football is sure to make your heart skip a beat. But that flutter you feel in your chest could also be something else, like AFib, atrial fibrillation, a serious heart condition that needs expert care from an all-pro team like Deborah Heart and Lung Center. One thing is certain, all season long, Team Green is sure to make your heart flutter, maybe even skip a beat now and then. Just remember, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org. Go Birds.
Operating engineers are the men and women that move mountains. And the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, ELEC, puts them to work. They create opportunities for the men, women, and union signatory contractors of Local 825, repaving our roads, keeping our homes bright and warm, and even building our favorite team stadium. We understand infrastructure. That's why ELEC and Local 825 are ready to get to work.
Know what's below, because even minor excavation projects like installing a mailbox, building a patio, or putting up a fence can do major damage. Contact 811 before you dig, or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
Bird Gang Spirits is made for the true Philly fans, the pre-gamers, tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. Now you can raise a glass to number 25 himself, Eagles legend LaShawn Shady McCoy, with their new very limited edition Bird Gang Shady Bourbon Whiskey, crafted to honor Shady's induction into the Eagles Hall of Fame. This special release is the spirit of Philly pride in every pour. Pre-order now to reserve a bottle or two of LaShawn Shady McCoy's Bird Gang Kentucky Bourbon at BOTLD.com. Please drink responsibly.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we get set for the NFC Divisional round. Eagles and Rams, a 3 o'clock kickoff here at Lincoln Financial Field. All right, guys, let's get to the player to watch. Sponsored by the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers, Local 1 of Pennsylvania and Delaware. Now hiring bricklayers, stonemasons, and rubble masons. Visit BAC-1.org to apply today. Who else but the quarterback, Jalen Hurts? All right, so last week it was not, well, I'll put it this way. It was an up-and-down performance. Early, Elliott, it was really good. 6 of his first 6. He hung in the pocket for like 7 seconds when they blocked for him through the touchdown Dotson.
Yep.
And then it went almost 2 full quarters without a completion. And then he put a drive together, right? He hit Devontae twice, Goddard with the touchdown to play he checked to. So they did enough. What do they need out of Hurts today to win this game?
I think they just need what they got from Hurts last week. We just have to accept the fact they are not going to be a team that throws for 300, 350 yards every week. That's not how they want to win. That's not what they're coaching Jalen to do. And that's not how they call plays. So if Jalen doesn't turn the ball over today, they'll win the game. The Eagles are going to win, what is it, like 95% of the games, whatever it is, where they don't turn the ball over.
96.
So we can sit here and go, he's not doing enough. He's not worth it. Like, who cares? They're 1 win away from the NFC Championship game. So ultimately, if he plays the same game he played last week, that's enough for me.
Jalen's thrown 1 interception since the bye week.
It's crazy.
And he's thrown 158 consecutive postseason passes without interception. That's the 7th longest streak in history. That's all I need from him. Just be efficient. Don't turn it over, and they're going to win the game.
I need a little bit more today. Let me tell you why. So I think the Rams are a little bit better than the Packers. And that game last week was I felt they were comfortably going to win, but it wasn't a blowout for most of that game. Like the Packers went back within a score in the 4th quarter. If the Eagles go 2 quarters today, Ike, without completing a pass, the Rams might stick around. Like I need a little bit more consistency throughout the game from Jalen rather than just a brief period in the beginning and a brief period at the end. I need a little bit more throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we certainly don't need to go through, what do we go through, about a quarter?
19 straight plays without a complete pass.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Rube had the stat. Yeah, right there, yeah. We don't need to do that. I understand what you're saying, but let me just say this. I think that there has to be detail in his final results, his numbers. In other words, it's not so much what does the total look like, it's when it happens. Mm-hmm. Does he make the throws when he needs to make the throws? What you don't want to have is 2 for 11 on 3rd down like they were last week.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to be able to convert 3rd downs into 1st downs, or at least put yourself in position on 4th down to do your tush push. You need more of that, which means they got to be more successful on 1st and 2nd down. That's where Jalen needs to hit the plays when they present itself. But it doesn't mean I need Jalen to go outside of what the framework has been for success for them. You look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers from yesterday, 16 of 25, 175 yards, 1 touchdown, couple sacks, led to a win. If Jalen gives me that and it leads to a win, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly, this is what we are as a team. We're going to be a team that's going to have – we're not going to have as many possessions because we run the ball the way we do, and we don't throw the ball down the field as we have in the past. So we don't get those chunk plays unless Saquon is breaking one. So you got to take advantage of your possessions is what I'm really saying.
I agree with that. The one concern I would have is if you look at their down-the-field plays, the last 3 years since 2022, his attempts beyond 20 yards have gone down every single year. So I am all for being conservative with the football. I think it's a smart way to play. You still have to find a way to stretch that defense out a little bit, especially when you have AJ and Devontae. So take care of the ball, but if it's one-on-one, AJ on the outside, that's a fine throw to make. That's not a risky throw to make. You're not throwing over the middle of the field. You're not throwing into double coverage. So I would like him to take a little more chances there because they could use some down-the-field plays.
And one other part of this equation is that, the Rams' run defense is a lot worse than the Packers. Packers are 3rd in the league in run defense. Rams are 26th. I think the Eagles can really control this game on the ground.
Hugh, is it as simple as don't turn the ball over?
Pound Town.
Yeah, Pound Town day, Pound Town.
That's it. That's all you got to do is run the ball, man. That's why I don't know why everybody – and I know Dave mentioned it. We want to see the receivers get involved because we paid them a ton of money. Man, listen, win the football game, run the football, take advantage of the matchup that favors you. The matchup that favors you is their defensive line is small. Your offensive line is big. Your running back is big. Run the ball. Plain and simple. Throw when you have to throw, but mainly I'm running the ball and you have to stop it. That's
do you
what I would
think we'll
do.
see more running from Jalen this week? Now, I know last week was the first game Elliott off the concussion. He only ran 6 times. I mean, that's if you look at his totals for the year, but that was one of his lowest, right? With most games this year, he's around, I would say, average of 10, 8 to 10, 7s, 8s, 9s, a few 15s, but like 6. Elliott, 6 felt low last week. I'm guessing it was the concussion and they wanted to go a little easy, but let's go. And we got to get to the title game now.
Well, he's going to have some kneel downs at the end, I guarantee.
Yeah, there you go. So there's 3 attempts right there.
Guarantee
yeah,
from Root.
I think he'll run it more today. And not to keep bringing up the weather, but if it's snowing, then that's a better quarterback to have, is one that runs the ball. So
no need to get cute today, man.
Hurricane ESP over
that's
here.
exactly right. All week had the weather update on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter threads and Blue Sky.
And you know what's important? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think he'll run it more today simply because of the elements.
You know, Saquon's really unusual. You see a lot of these hotshot running backs have great years, and by the time the playoffs come around, they're kind of shot. He's had over 400 touches, and he's as good as ever. He takes such good care of himself. I think the training staff has been really good. Nick doesn't practice him on Wednesday. So, you know, you have all these running backs who have these great regular seasons, but what does it get you when you get to the playoffs and they're like 12 for 26? Saquon looks as good now as he did week 1, and that's huge.
Yep.
Well, he's been great. And even last week, I didn't think that the Eagles' running game last week was as dynamic as it usually is. He still got 119, and he still had 3 or 4 20-ish kind of runs. He still broke some.
It could have had more. We all know that at the end of the game. But love you too. Yep. And my people right there. Holla at your boy. What was I saying?
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon. Yeah, he had a great game last week. Could have had about 160, 170 yards had he just ran to the 10-yard line and went down. But nevertheless, I'm still bitter about the last game and not getting the rushing record.
Well, the more important record is now obtainable, which is the total rushing yards for the regular season and the playoffs.
Terrell Davis?
It's called the winner's record is what that is. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is the type of game.
It's a record for winners.
I got you.
Is it Terrell Davis, 98?
If he gets 88 yards today, he's 3rd all time.
Yes. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
By halftime.
He had the winner's record stat.
I'm saying, we got to pivot here. We wanted the record. Now we got to go all in on this other one.
I feel you.
You know
Big Dave, and this is the type of game that he can have one of those. I'm just saying, 175 is in my sight.
Yeah. Well, we know what Shady did in the snow. All right. I know you guys are all going to yell at me, but I just want to ask, Ruben, are we sure the snow means they're definitely going to run a lot? I mean, you relayed something Andy said back in the day about the snow, and maybe it lends to more passing.
I mean, they don't throw much when the weather's perfect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like they're going to throw more. I mean, I think they can make some plays. I don't love that Rams secondary, certainly. They're banged up, too. So, you know, you got to make some plays in the air. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be 65-35, 70-30, something like that.
Well, let me tell you this. This is where Jalen has to be confident and let the ball go, right? Like if they're going to keep 2 high safeties or they're going to try to bring somebody down to help out in that run game, there's opportunities on the outside. You got to give your guys opportunities to make plays. Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown against these corners, I trust both of those receivers. Hell, I trust Dallas Goedert against one-on-one coverage out there. Like give your guys the opportunity to make a play.
Well, that's the other thing, too. AJ and Dallas Goedert are both really good after the catch. So in today, even if there are elements, like AJ and Dallas having the ball in their hands, that's opportunity for a lot of yak. We saw that against the Rams the first time they played. And then obviously Dallas last week showed what he can do. So it doesn't have to be a 30-yard bomb down the field. A quick little slant across the middle. Let AJ, the Rams back seven's undersized compared to AJ and Dallas. So, yeah, I get the ball in their hands.
That's a good point by Elliott. Tackling AJ in the open field today could be a problem for the Rams.
What do you have, 7 for over 100 the first time we played them?
109.
So some of those like quick screens and when you get the ball out there, you know, McLaurin scored on the long touchdown on that last night. Like you get some of those out there for AJ, and he runs through arm tackles.
Listen, I know the inner excellence thing was cute this week. I'd rather him making catches. 1 for 10 last week. I mean, how about we get him going early?
Yeah,
you know, he's played 4 playoff games as an Eagle. He's only surpassed 40 yards once.
Wow,
really?
Yeah,
that had to be the Super Bowl.
It was
right?
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think he's been underutilized, and he's got to be a bigger part of this game plan.
Meanwhile, Smitty's about to break Harold Carmichael's
I know.
record.
He's the playoff receiver around here. All right, on the other side, we'll look at the state of the race to win the Lombardi. A big AFC game tonight. We know the Chiefs are in, and the Commanders await the winner of this game. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. It's time for intelligent design, plus exciting performance. Get a new vehicle you'll love. Check out the Honda Civic, Accord, or HR-V.
Contact your local Honda dealer today.
See dealer for financing details.
PNC Private Bank knows that anything can happen on the gridiron, and being prepared goes a long way. It's not so different with your wealth. Whether you are looking to grow it over time, planning business succession, or integrate charitable giving, having a dedicated local team of specialized advisors who take a calculated, disciplined approach to managing your wealth leads to a lot of wins. The PNC Private Bank team knows that just like in football, that kind of preparation is good for your financial game. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC.
D&K Appliances is a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations located in Newtown Square and Flowertown. D&K Appliances offers one-stop shopping, providing delivery, installation, and service of top brands like GE, Thermador, Wolf, Bosch, Speed Queen, KitchenAid, and Whirlpool for your kitchen or laundry. D&K Appliance sales associates are industry experts, supporting customers every step of the way. Visit D&K Appliances, the dependable difference. Newtown Square and Flowertown showrooms, or visit dkappliances.com.
There's something you need to know about electricity, or power. Power can sometimes be kind of a jerk. Oh, is that a storm? I gotta go. Too bad about your party. Oh, is that your new flat screen? Excuse me, did I surge? Well, WM Henderson Electrical Services is on to Power's little tricks, and Henderson will give you $500 off a new generator that's a perfect fit for your home, and $99 off a whole home surge protector package. So take that, Power. Schedule a visit from WM Henderson today.
The Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers Local 1 of Pennsylvania and Delaware, founded in 1865, is the longest continuous union in North America, founded right here in Philadelphia. Bricklayers, stonemasons, rubble masons looking for excellent and competitive wages, top-notch health care, safe working conditions, state-of-the-art training facilities, and premier retirement packages. Please apply within. Call the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers at 215-856-9505 or visit bac-1.org to apply today.
At this point, Jack Dell figures he might as well whip it out. The big deal reveal at Dell Chevrolet. And with a Dell Vehicle Exchange Program, you can get out of your current car or truck and slip into a new one, all while keeping your payments the same, or maybe even make them less. Right now, you can buy with no money down and 0% financing every day. Dell Chevy is located on Route 30 in Paoli. If you're worried you're going to pay too much for your next car, you don't know Jack. Se habla español.
Jack, sell them for less.
Birds fans, are you ready for the game? Just like a winning team needs a solid foundation, so does your home. That's why you need Groundworks in your playbook. Philadelphia's experts in basement waterproofing, foundations, and crawl space repair. Groundworks' team of dedicated professionals is here to tackle all challenges. Whether it's water in the basement, sagging floors, smells in your crawl space, or sticky windows and doors, Groundworks is here to protect your home for every game day and beyond. Book your free inspection today at groundworks.com.
This week at Acme, don't miss the digital deals for strawberries or jumbo blueberries for $2.99 each. Clip these deals and unlock hundreds more when you sign up for Acme For You. Visit acmemarkets.com/4U or download the Acme mobile app to sign up and save today.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This week at Acme, don't miss the playoff special items of the week. Snapple Tea 12-pack bottles for $7.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to Eagles Radio Network, Verizon Pregame Show, the Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. All right, guys, let's look to tonight and what's already happened here this weekend in the postseason. Let's get to the state of the race here.
The state of the race.
All right, what's on the menu? Sponsored by Hatfield. Put pork on your fork. Visit simplyhatfield.com for game day recipe inspiration. we hit on a little bit in the beginning because it really sets the stage for today. But, gentlemen, how about the Commanders last night? The 6th seed going on the road and taking out the Lions.
Why are y'all booing?
Yeah, that was good.
It was great for the Eagles.
You got to be happy. We get to play. We're going to win it.
We'll
We're
boo
at
them
home
next week.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get to
next
boo them
week.
next week. Exactly.
It's a lot of fans out there don't understand how the playoffs work. Since they won last night, that means the NFC Championship game is here.
Comes
now.
through here next week. Hugh, you called it this week. You picked the Commanders. What'd you notice last night?
They didn't have an answer for that quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Aaron Glenn, I mean, if you're a Detroit fan, you shouldn't. I mean, you should be upset, but you really shouldn't be because you've been playing with house money all year long. It just finally caught up with you. Your defense, you lost 13 players on one side of the ball. And yesterday you saw what happens when you lose that many players. You have a dynamic quarterback back there. They stuck with the running game. You notice something? You notice a theme in this playoffs? Teams that don't turn the ball over tend to have a better chance of winning. So that's why I know one of you cats out there were calling in talking about you weren't impressed with the fact that Jalen didn't turn the ball over. Shame on you. I don't know which one of you was, but shame on you, because that's the most important thing in the playoffs is not turning the ball over. And Jalen did a good job of that and being efficient. That's what you have to be in the playoffs. That's what the Commodores were yesterday. And if everything plays out the way we take care of our business today, for all y'all that out there booing, we get to come back here next week and y'all get to get drunk and act the fool in the parking lot. Well, don't y'all want to do that again? Don't y'all want to be here next week? Come on, man.
Yeah, they do. Ike, the Commanders were impressive last night. Jaden Daniels is the best rookie quarterback I've ever seen, and I'd love a chance to beat him next week, but that kid is really good.
Yeah. I guess that's the flip side of that coin is that if we win, we have to face him next week and everything he's been doing. Listen, he's been outstanding all year long. He's been very impressive, been very unflappable. You look at that Commanders team, it's not a real impressive team just from a talent standpoint. They have some good players, but they're not overly impressive when it comes to the level of talent they have over there. Terry McLaurin is an awesome player, but if you just were to compare their roster to our roster, it doesn't even compare. And the reason they are where they are is because of that quarterback.
Yeah,
like that's how good he's been this year for those guys. Close games at the end, big games. He like I said, he seems unflappable. He went on the road and beat Tampa Bay, and then he went on the road and beat the number 1 seed in the Detroit Lions. I mean, he's pretty damn good. And unfortunately, we got to deal with him for the next decade.
Yeah, we do, and we'll have to deal with him next week, Elliot. If this game's a win for the Eagles today, it sets it up as well as you could have it. A home game against the Rams, a home game against the Commanders to get to the Super Bowl. I mean, the Eagles, this is the dream scenario now.
Yeah, these are probably the 3 teams you would have asked for before the playoffs started. But the other main takeaway from that game last night is details really matter. We do the Players Lounge every Monday, and the players always talk about how much Nick stresses. Details, details, details. Last night, biggest play of the game, the Lions have 12 players on the field. They gift Washington a first down. They get a touchdown, game over. So as much as I agree with you guys, like the Eagles have the most talented roster left in the playoffs, talent doesn't always win. So when Nick always stresses these details, like those are the little things that win games. So I thought those mistakes from the Lions last night should be a reminder to the Eagles today that it is sloppy stuff like that can end your season.
Well, the other thing I thought last night is their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, got too cute when the receiver threw the pass in the fourth quarter. Like, sometimes keep it simple. I mean, you have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have all these great players. A receiver throwing a pass. I mean, that felt like desperation.
They were just, my bad, Hugh, they were just starting to get their momentum.
Yeah, it was only a 10-point game, and they had the ball.
And that hurt.
Yeah, but that was part of their whole makeup all year long.
I know.
Doing stuff like that. And it just in that moment, you could tell the teams that were ready for the playoffs and some that weren't. Because to have 12 men on the field at this point in the season,
that's brutal.
When you've been playing so well, that's just crazy.
In
you got to know the
spot,
personnel.
too.
Yeah, you have to know the personnel, and it just sounds like they were in panic mode.
The other thing yesterday, Chiefs win the first game. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Andy Reid, his 300th win. Ike, you and Hugh's former coach, 300 wins, and now they're in their 7th consecutive AFC Championship game. It just, their consistency is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, that's been Andy Reid as a coach his entire career. 7 AFC Championship games in Kansas City, 5 NFC Championship games here, a playoff team pretty much, 11 or 12 years out of the 14 years that he was here.
Yep.
And one of those years was his first year here that we didn't make the playoffs. That's been Andy Reid, man. It's he has evolved as a coach. It helps to have one of the best players ever playing the quarterback position as your running mate. But Andy Reid is the one who sets the culture and the consistency there in Kansas City. And that's not easy to do, man. People think that's easy to do year in and year out. That's not easy to do. What Bill Belichick did for 20 years in New England with Tom Brady is not easy to do, to keep guys motivated, focused, driven, following a standard to win championships and never compromising that. Like, that's the only way those guys are consistent every year. And we're there. We're consistently winning franchise as well. There's a standard and a culture here that breeds winning. We just need to start adding more trophies to our trophy case.
We might have to face Andy to win one in a couple weeks. All right, what do we think tonight?
We're going to exercise the demons.
Let's do it. What do we think tonight, the team that will face the Chiefs next week? Bills or Ravens tonight, Elliot? Who you got?
I mean, it's a good game. I'm mad I'm not going to watch the first part of it, but I think the Bills win the game. Feels like Josh Allen's having one of those years. But, man, those are probably the two teams I wouldn't want. If I could pick out of the three in the AFC, I'd probably pick the Chiefs to play in the Super Bowl if I'm the Eagles, because I think the Ravens and Bills at this point are better.
We've already beat the Ravens.
But I think they're a better team than the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought you meant better than the Eagles.
No. I think the Eagles would beat either any of those teams.
I'd like to avoid Patrick Mahomes. If someone else wants to knock him out, I'll take that.
They look very beatable, though. Like Mahomes,
I know we say that, but they've lost one real game since 2 Christmases ago.
I agree, but they haven't played the Eagles this year. The Eagles beat them last year in Kansas City. Mahomes, he does make 1 or 2 special plays a game for sure.
One or two.
Well, I'm saying yesterday he had that unbelievable play to Kelsey, but it wasn't like he was moving him up and down the field all game. So I think they look more beatable than they have in past years for sure.
Who you got tonight, Hugh? Ravens or Bills?
I'll go with the Ravens. I'm going with the Ravens. I've been looking at some of the, been looking at Black Twitter and all the fire and all the stuff that's going on up there in Buffalo. So I'm pulling for Lamar this weekend.
I think the Ravens are favorites too, which is surprising in Buffalo.
Yeah.
That's a line that makes you think that,
It's going to be a great game, man. It's going to be a great game. And I can see Lamar and Josh Allen just trying to will their team to victory tonight. Buffalo is at home. You feel like it's their time. But Lamar's had such a outstanding season that it feels like it's his time as well. He's going to win the MVP. I got Baltimore in a close one, man. A couple of my former coaches. I'm a little closer to John Harbaugh. Been knowing him since I was 17. Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens.
Well, that seat's going to get hot if McDermott loses in the same round for the fourth straight year, but the second round, a lot of pressure on those quarterbacks.
In that AFC.
Well, I was going to say, the other thing is prior to the playoffs, we thought the NFC was the way stronger conference. Now, obviously it's played out.
You're talking about the North. Just say it, the North.
Yeah, the North is 0-3
Go ahead and just say
the overrated North.
Meanwhile, the NFC East is about to be
the champions coming out of the North. Look like it's going to come out of the East.
Yes,
hopefully.
It does. All right, on the other side, we'll look at the inactives. Dave Spinner will join us. Coming up soon as well, our legend of the day, Corey Clement's going to join us. The Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
New year, new ride. Start off the new year with Hessert Chevrolet of Cherry Hill, formerly Mall Chevrolet. Get fantastic finance and lease offers on a wide selection of new models. Whether you're looking to lease or finance, we have great deals to help you drive into the new year in style. Hessert Chevy of Cherry Hill offers one of the largest inventories in the area. For over 40 years, the Hessert family has been a trusted part of this community. Together, let's drive. Visit HessertChevyCH.com.
Hessert Chevrolet! Hi, this is Merrill Reese. My wife Cindy and I had a new roof installed by Impriano Roofing, Siding, and Windows, and we're delighted. When it comes to your roof, good planning is essential. Jack Impriano and his 4 sons are a true family business, serving our area for over 5 decades, using only the best CertainTeed products. If you need a new roof, call Jack Impriano Roofing. Online at impriano.com. It's good to hire Jack and his team. Remember, the best homes have an Impriano roof.
Jack Daniels, tailgating, and the birds. It doesn't get any better. So stop by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store and stock up for the game with the original Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, along with Jack Daniels Fire and Jack Daniels Honey. Or grab a case of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate. Whiskey specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
The Volvo XC60 is about performance, not just on the road, but in life. With not only trunk space, but room to make memories. And with Google built in, it's about connections, not just connectivity. Where the only speed that really matters is how fast you can slow down. The Volvo XC60, performance where it matters the most. Visit volvocars.com/US to learn more. Google, Google Play, and Google Maps are trademarks of Google LLC. Google Assistant is not available in certain languages and countries.
Hi, Philadelphia. I'm Tom Red, Financial Secretary Treasurer for Steamfitters Local Union 420, a proud 121-year-old labor organization who provide the safest and most well-trained steamfitters, welders, and HVAC service technicians in southeastern Pennsylvania. If you are looking to build or service in the healthcare, nuclear, pharmaceutical, life science, chemical, or residential field, then look no further than Steamfitters Local Union 420. To learn more, please visit our website at lu420.com. Go Birds!
Roto-Rooter. Plumbing problem? No match for a little DIY duct tape. Shoot, hold on. Nope. There we go. No match for a little... dang it, wait. Duct tape and a wrench. Leaks are no match for duct tape and a wrench. And a bucket and a towel, more duct tape, a hammer, this random tool I found in the basement, another bucket, more tape, a little more tape. Perfect. On second thought, maybe leave plumbing to the pros at Roto-Rooter.
And away go troubles down the drain.
You know you've been testing fade, ignoring those home repairs. Start 2025 off right and call PJ Fitzpatrick to the rescue. If it's drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, or that dreaded leaking roof, PJ Fitzpatrick can take care of your home repair project right now and save you thousands of dollars on costly structural damage. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. Visit them on the web at trustpj.com. They'll save you some cash and they'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com.
There are lessons to be learned every day, and every day is an opportunity to find our purpose. It begins with a game plan, not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. Build your tomorrow at LincolnFinancial.com.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch Off's Excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back. The Verizon Pregame Show, powered by Verizon, the Philadelphia Eagles, as we get set for the Eagles and the Rams, 2 wins away from a trip to the Super Bowl, a trip and a game that the guy joining us right now knows about. Legend of the day, Corey Clement joining us right now.
What's happening?
Give this guy a round of applause. Leading receiver in Super Bowl 52. Corey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I get a chance to actually enjoy a tailgate for once. Oh, this is fun.
You ever go to a tailgate ever, Corey?
No. This is my first tailgate today.
It's the first good one to pick.
So
I tell you picked a hell of a time to tailgate, bro.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. Playoff atmosphere, I can't ask for enough.
So, Corey, no tailgates, but you did play inside this building in some big games. What's it like here, a home playoff game, especially as we go deeper in the postseason? What's it like playing in that building?
I think it comes down to one word. It's just electric. No other stadium really shares this same electricity that we really share amongst fans. And from fan to player, relationship-wise, we are connected. This is the most connected organization that I've ever been a part of. Everybody knows I've been to a few other teams, but this is by far, obviously not being biased, but we're top of the charts when it comes to fans really caring about their players. So we're going to get back, and today's going to be awesome.
When you look at this team, right, you obviously are part of a special team that won a championship, the first and only champion so far.
Yeah.
For this organization. Are there any similarities you see in this team that you would look at with your team?
I would just see all around it in this. I would call it that. From every position, there's something to look out for, especially on the defensive side. Especially Quinyon Mitchell. That's my favorite defensive player right now. It's always he's so poised, and I just he doesn't need to do any talking. His game shows for himself, and my hat's off to him, man, for sure.
So you guys had home field advantage throughout 2017. You earned that prior to the playoffs. This team got it last night. When you know as a team the path to the Super Bowl goes through the Linc in your home stadium, what does that do for you as a player?
It reminds me of us versus the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That atmosphere was crazy.
that was fantastic. So I don't want to look back, but there's something in the air that says that we're due for another one.
Corey, what's it like to watch Saquon this year? We all knew he was a great player before he got here, but he's taken it to a new level. What makes him so special?
It's jaw-dropping. Almost at this point, we all saw the backwards hurdle. That was just inhumane. Call it what it is. Call it what it is. But he's always been a topic of the conversation every single year, whether it's in high school, college, or in the NFL. And that's a guy you got to put your hat towards and say, whatever else you can do, please surprise me, because I know you got something else left in the tank. So. But to him, it's not surprising. I'm pretty sure he has a crazy work ethic throughout the offseason, but he's definitely going to put his foot forward in the Linc tonight.
What's it like for you being from this area? I know you're from over in South Jersey, but being from this area, raised around a bunch of Eagles fans, and then actually winning a championship here. So you're part of the legacy that this organization has.
Right.
What's that been like for you?
It's been kind of surreal. My first game was actually in kind of weather like this. I believe you were still a part of the team. I think they were playing the Seattle Seahawks back in, call it what it is, 07, 08.
06.
Yeah,
the Monday night game, the Reggie White game.
Yeah. That one didn't go so
I was
well.
not a part of that team, though. Yeah. I was somewhere else, but yes, I do remember that game.
It's just almost like a full circle moment.
Yeah.
When I look at it, I came here a lot with my dad and my grandfather, especially at the vet. Just soaking in all the memories that I can and still be able to put my best effort forward to give this city a championship. I can only thank the God, man, for sure.
Corey Clement with us here. Legend of the day as the Eagles get set for a big one against the Rams. All right, Corey, the opponent next week for the winner of this game, the Commanders. How about their turnaround and what it means if we face them next week?
If I'm just a fly on the wall, we can't take anything lightly as far as whatever next week goes, but we can't even look far enough more than 3 o'clock. To be honest, we got to worry about today. Today, Washington won't even matter if we don't take care of today, to be honest with you. So I'm sorry to say that, but I can't even answer the question. We got to take care of today.
I gotta ask you at least one question about the Super Bowl, because your performance you turned in that game was one of the more special performances we've seen from an Eagles player. When you think back to that game, what do you remember most from Super Bowl Sunday?
I just remember coming out to just Philly rawness. That's how I felt. The Patriots came out, and I'm like, that's cool. That's cool.
You guys came out the dreams and nightmares.
Yeah, we came out to some city things. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
We came out to
City things.
city
I like
things.
that.
We came out to city things. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna bring. We're gonna have some atmosphere, and that's when I felt the most calm, because I'm like, nobody's nervous.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, we in for some fun.
So it has to be pretty cool to be a part of one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
Let alone just the Eagles history.
Yeah.
Being a part of the Philly special, man. So take us in the huddle. What was that like when Nick comes in and makes the call, and what are you thinking? Because you play a role in this as well.
Yeah. To be honest, I was kind of really like just up in the air. I'm like, he came back to the huddle, and I looked at him twice. I said, wait, you really just called that? Okay, we're having fun. We playing that. I call that drawing in the dirt, because that's what we did. 2 weeks prior to going out there, and I'm just like, man, I wonder if this play is going to work. It's always the play you think is just going to be like, oh, they'll figure this out. And I'm just like, wow, we actually got a chance to execute this. I said, one thing I have to do is not drop the ball from Jason Kelce. And
So you got the direct snap.
Woo! I got the direct snap.
You got the first snap.
I got the direct snap.
Yeah, okay.
I could have blew the whole thing up. And I was like, man, this thing could go. He probably thinks I'm 6'2". I'm not 6'2". I'm 5'10", 5'11". And it could have been a whole different story. Y'all would not be standing here right now. It'd be a whole different story.
Well,
But
luckily you
thankful,
did.
man. I'm
well,
thankful.
you started an amazing play. Corey, appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on a great career and a legend. 100 yards receiving in the Super Bowl. Coming up next, Dave Spadaro, Inactives, the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Jack Fritz here. Get ready for today's game with Gran Coramino Tequila from Kevin Hart, the official luxury tequila of the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you're going to the game, stop by the Gran Coramino Tequila Bar on the 100 level just up the stairs from the Pepsi Plaza. And there's more from Gran Coramino, as they've teamed up with the Eagles to reward Eagles fans who really know how to roast our rivals. Upload your best roast to roastourrivals.com for a chance to win epic Eagles experiences. That's roastourrivals.com. Go Birds and cheer responsibly.
Birds fans, are you ready for the game? Just like a winning team needs a solid foundation, so does your home. That's why you need Groundworks in your playbook. Philadelphia's experts in basement waterproofing, foundations, and crawl space repair. Groundworks' team of dedicated professionals is here to tackle all challenges. Whether it's water in the basement, sagging floors, smells in your crawl space, or sticky windows and doors, Groundworks is here to protect your home for every game day and beyond. Book your free inspection today at groundworks.com.
Operating engineers are the men and women that move mountains. And the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative, ELEC, puts them to work. They create opportunities for the men, women, and union signatory contractors of Local 825, repaving our roads, keeping our homes bright and warm, and even building our favorite team stadium. We understand infrastructure. That's why ELEC and Local 825 are ready to get to work.
Piazza Premium Automobiles is proud to serve as the halftime sponsor of the Eagles Radio Network as the team drives for another win. Experience ultimate luxury in a newer certified pre-owned vehicle from Piazza Premium Automobiles with exclusive brands like Land Rover, Jaguar, Porsche, BMW, Infiniti, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, and Mercedes-Benz. You're sure to elevate your drive. To find the Pennsylvania, Delaware, or New Jersey location nearest you, visit PiazzaPremiumAutos.com.
Carrier has the home comfort you need and financing options to fit any budget. Right now, you can enjoy 60 months financing on a new home comfort system. Turn to your local Carrier dealer for efficient heating and cooling performance, healthier indoor air, and convenient monthly payments for qualified buyers. Visit nopaycarrier.com. That's nopaycarrier.com. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
A.D. Moyer Lumber is your window expert. Anderson 400 series are the clad wood windows more contractors trust for their own homes. Contractors love them because they're easy to install, time-tested, and are the windows with fewer callbacks. Homeowners love their superior design with styles that bring their unique vision to life. Based on a 2022 Anderson brand survey of U.S. contractors, your Anderson expert is A.D. Moyer Lumber in Gilbertsville, Pottstown, Bethlehem, and Kutztown, and on the web at admoyer.com.
Miss Jill Scott here, partnering with Pico, the team that powers what matters to my hometown and yours. They're connected to our communities because they live, work, and play here too. You can find Pico volunteering in our neighborhoods, embracing clean energy, partnering with local nonprofits like mine, and working around the clock to make sure the lights are on and the natural gas is flowing. And through it all, they're here to make sure we're all shining together. Learn more at pico.com/shine.
You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show, the Philadelphia Eagles, powered by Verizon. Joining us now, Dave Spadero here. As we talk about the power player of the game, sponsored by IBEW Local Union 98 in partnership with Nika Pendel Jersey. They're proud to power progress in Philadelphia. Dave, we have Nakobe Dean out. So what do we got today? Oren Burks, Jeremiah Trotter Jr.?
Yeah, I think both of them. I would kind of lean toward Trot a little bit. I think Trot's ready to go. I think the Eagles feel really good about his preparation.
Let's go, Nick!
His maturity and the way he matches up physically with what the Rams want to do. And Oren Burks has played well when he's had the chance, but I think Trot is really poised for that next step. It's very exciting to see what this rookie class has done. This rookie class is unparalleled in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, slow down.
Yeah, we got first-year contribution.
Slow down.
I know 1998 was great.
Yes, slow down.
Trey and Ike, I got it.
Yes, Trotter.
Three more wins, 24 over 98. I mean, that's
well,
just
the
saying.
team is much better.
Well, of course.
Well, the Eagles' willingness to play the young players, too, is noteworthy. Last year, they didn't play really any of their young players or much at all play them. This year, they've been willing to put in Nolan Smith more.
Yes.
They put in Jalex Hunt when Brandon Graham went down. So I agree with you. I think we're going to see a lot of Trotter today.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, the inactives, nothing really notable. However, on the Rams side, it is notable that Higbee is active. Witherspoon is active. Jackson, their right tackle, is active. All the players who were banged up are playing in this game, which you would expect. It's a divisional playoff game.
This is it.
But
All
I wonder
hands
how.
on deck.
But if I'm the Eagles and Witherspoon's on the field after getting a hamstring
gotta
injury,
throw
I'm going
it.
at him.
Yes.
I'm going at him over and over
Yeah,
and
he
over
ain't
again.
Right. He ain't right.
Well, the other interesting thing is they got Nicholas Moreau back, and they're elevating him for special teams. I think another indication you're going to see a lot of Trotter and obviously Oren Burks out there, with Moreau probably taking most of those special teams.
And just a veteran guy who comes in, can fill in if disaster
There's another
strikes.
injury,
Yeah, so, I mean, Moreau knows what he's doing. Blasting game is active, the fullback who didn't really do anything, and surprisingly so. But in this game, maybe if it becomes a wet field, you want to play mutter football, you use a fullback.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come down to him. But, yeah, I agree with you.
Well, he needs block.
No, I know. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Might give him a fullback.
The blasting
dive.
game. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, all hands on deck. This is to get to the NFC Championship game.
How about that?
It is incredible how far this team has come and what kind of run they're on. Quickly, Dave, here. We spoke about it a little bit on Countdown to Kickoff, but the weather not so bad as we speak, at least not snow yet. I do wonder if they'll try to throw a little bit early, get a lead, maybe throw at that corner with a hamstring injury, and then run the football.
I mean, when you run for 314 yards on a team, you don't abandon the run game.
the ball.
Run the ball. But I do think getting AJ involved early, getting Jalen off to a good start is also very important. So to me, man, the Eagles dictate this game. They don't cater to what the Rams are doing. They make the Rams deal with what they're showing. So this offense knows it had great success the first time they played. They know they're better than the Rams. The Rams really aren't that good in the secondary. I'm game for whatever. Just stay ahead of the sticks.
Just go. All right, we'll continue.
Don't turn the ball over,
We'll
Hugh.
continue it. Yeah,
Don't turn
no
it over,
turnovers. Our big 12 o'clock next hour, 2 o'clock hour. Devin's going to join us. Mara Reese will join us. Elliot's Keys to the Game. This is the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
The Eagles continue to fly high.
Likes a tackle across the 5. Touchdown!
Got it! Beast! And have been reading up on their opponent.
That's a book that I bring every single game. My teammates call it the recipe.
Today, the road to New Orleans continues through South Philly.
We're talking about playoff football. It's about winning the game.
As the Eagles battle the Los Angeles Rams. Today's game is sponsored in part by PNC Bank, PDQ Restaurant Point of Sale Systems, Verizon, NovaCare Rehabilitation, your Delaware Valley Honda dealers, Deborah Heart and Lung Center, Acme, Piazza Auto Group, IBEW Local Union 98, and Chevrolet. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network, presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon as we are about 1 hour from kickoff. The right to host the NFC Championship Game, the Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams, alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Shore-Parks, and now Devin Caney. I'm Joe Giglio. The Eagles are 60 minutes away from a trip and hosting the NFC title game. Devin, how are we doing?
I'm doing well. I mean, I'm surprisingly not freezing cold yet. The snow has not started falling heavily yet, but I'm sure it will in the next hour or two. I was just out on the field, saw the guys, Devontae Smith warming up in a T-shirt. Doesn't seem to bother him or A.J. Brown whatsoever. So I'm feeling pretty confident today.
Mailata with his normal no shoes warm up.
So he had shoes. Wait, you saw him with no shoes?
Yeah, no shoes.
Because I saw him with shoes warming up. So
Well, he should
maybe
play
did
with
too.
shoes, I would say.
Yeah, well, he probably did.
Yeah, you kind of need.
Yeah.
Be a good
And there were also a couple Rams players out there with no shoes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should play
that
with
right
no
there. Yeah, that's fun. That's why I always find that funny when the other team does it. Trying
Right,
to get their
like what-
mind
what
right,
are
trying to get your
you-
mind right for the inclement weather.
Just getting frostbite on
Oh
your feet
yeah,
before the
knowing
game.
damn well when that second half hit, it's gonna hit a little different. The sun gonna go down. It's gonna be a little different for you.
So what is it like? It's hard to tell from where we sit. Is it raining? Is it sleeting?
It's changed. So when I first got to the stadium around like 11:30 this morning, it was just rain. Then it switched to hail, and then now it's been going kind of back and forth between freezing rain and hail. A little bit of snow mixed in there, but not quite yet.
All right, do we overrate this stuff, or is it hard to play defense in this? Hugh, like, is it challenging for the defense to play if it's snow and rainy, or is it just something we say and you go play the game? The game's the game.
Well, I mean, for defensive players, we don't care usually. I mean, we don't have to worry about ball security or anything of that nature. But for the offense, that's the main thing you have to worry about. Offense usually has an advantage because they know where they're going to go.
Footing.
Defense has to react to it. But I think it really does boil down to ball security, right? So when you're back in that pocket, getting ready to throw the ball, defenders swiping at you, trying to get you to fumble the ball, right? I mean, that's really where we as defensive players try to gain an advantage when you get bad weather games.
Is there a big difference for you guys between playing in the snow as opposed to like a freezing rain situation?
Well, to be honest, I didn't like to play either one because that meant that normally the ball wasn't being thrown in the air a whole lot. And when it was something quick. It was not those long developing plays. And that's the one thing that I hated about playing in weather like this is the opportunities to rush the passer are kind of few and far between. But as far as everything else goes, it just all depends on what side of the coin you're on with this one. Like I remember being in games when we were winning that you didn't really too much mind the weather because you use that as it's like a use it to your advantage, especially when you're playing against teams that are that don't like playing in inclement weather. Especially when you're playing like if we were playing today and playing against a West Coast team like the one LA Rams, I'm going to assume that as the game progresses, that's when it's going to start to take its toll, especially in the second half, because you're not used to this. I don't care what you go out there and try to do. You're not used to this kind of inclement weather.
Yeah, I think the Rams have only played in a cold game twice over the past two and a half months or something like that. So they're definitely not used to this type of temperature.
Well, I mean, that's one thing that we talked all week. It has to be the Eagles' advantage, Ike. They're playing a dome team coming across the country, a West Coast dome team. Like, this has to be so – we have to – at the end of the game, we have to say the Eagles controlled the tempo and they controlled the way they played in the weather. I mean, if that's – it's the number one advantage we have, not just home field and this crowd and the fact they had to travel, but they don't play in these conditions.
Yeah, I think the biggest advantage we have is our style of play. So our style of play is suited for this type of weather. You know, I'm not one that, you know, I'm scarred from 2002. You know, when you heard so much about Tampa Bay's never won a game and below 40-degree weather, all that stuff, and we went out there and lost. So I've been scarred since then. I don't really buy into the whole weather stuff all with too much with how cold it is. But I will say this. When you have early success, the team that comes out and has early success is the team who usually doesn't pay attention to the weather. When you're struggling as a team, you can't move the ball, then it gets colder. Then you start thinking about other things. So I advise them to come out, play well early, take care of the football, and really make the Rams not want to play. If we try to get too cute, you keep a team like the Rams in the game. Come out, put a hat on a hat. We're the more physical team. When it comes to defense, make sure we get 11 hats to the football and we hit somebody when we get there. That's be a nastiness that you play with when you play in these type of games. And that's why I believe we have the right mentality, and the way that we play is suited for days like this. We have to see if the Rams can match that. The last time we talked about matching physicality, we went down to Baltimore, and Baltimore wilted.
Yep.
When we talked about that. So we got to have that same sort of mindset that we're going to impose our will on the Rams.
Well, Elliot, you mentioned the Rams don't play in the cold very often. Well, Matthew Stafford, he has bad numbers in the rain and the cold in his career. I think it's 1-8, completion percentage of 56. I mean, he's been a dome quarterback his whole career, right? Detroit, Los Angeles. He played college football at Georgia. He's from Texas. I mean, he hasn't had many chances and he hasn't done very well. I mean, Elliot, that's something, and you said this earlier in the show, if they could pressure him, he's shown he'll struggle in the elements.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford's a good quarterback when he has a clean pocket, no weather, and time back there to do what he wants to do. But when you move him off his spot, especially at his age in this weather, he will make mistakes with the football. Again, last time he played here in the snow, he fumbled it 5 times. So, yeah, the Eagles have to get to Stafford today. And, you used the word wilted, the Ravens. The snow's supposed to get worse in the second half. If you can have them come out of the locker room, they're down 10 points, it starts to snow, that's how you can put them away. So absolutely getting to Stafford and getting a lead earlier, huge.
The last time you played here in the snow, was that 2013?
It was.
That was the December game? Okay.
Yeah, that was a snowball. Darius Slay was on the lines then, too.
He was. He was.
Kellen Moore, we found out, was the backup quarterback in Detroit, too. So there's a lot of weird connections to that game.
Well, Kellen Moore was in Detroit.
He was,
Really?
before he ended up in Dallas.
The backup quarterback on that team?
He was. The other thing is today is the 23-year anniversary of the Tuck Rule game with the Patriots and the Raiders. So we got to win this one for John Ritchie today. We got to avenge the John Ritchie.
Does John Ritchie know that? I feel like that should have been mentioned on the morning show.
He doesn't like when it
I
gets
don't
brought
think he
up.
likes to bring that up.
No, you're right.
He gets visibly upset when
It's not
anyone
an anniversary
does.
he celebrates.
It's that and the Jason Kelsey crying drop.
Yeah,
He
it's
does
not as
appreciate that.
But we're not going to stop bringing that one up.
No.
Devin, what was the feeling around the team this week? Last week you said it felt like they were confident. What would you say, like, of just being around the team this week that you felt?
Still, I mean, these guys are just cool as cucumbers and you can tell that they're confident in their game. But guys like Jordan Mailata, guys like Saquon Barkley, even A.J. Brown, kind of, I don't want to say frustration at all, but they said like their offense didn't perform the way that they wanted to last week. They wanted to work on communication. They wanted to work on execution. And talking to Jordan Mailata specifically, because he had said that right after the game and then kind of reiterated it earlier in the week, he said it was something that they were really focusing on, and he was confident that they were going to bounce back. And I'm confident in the offense and even the passing game despite the weather, because typically when Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown have really quiet games, they followed it up with a big game in the passing game. So as long as the weather cooperates, and at least at the start of the game, I would expect to see A.J. Brown get more action than he did last week.
All right, you mentioned the word focus. Are any of us concerned that Kellen Moore spent hours this week interviewing for other jobs? No?
You're not?
No.
I mean, Ellie, hold on. Last night, Cliff Kingsbury declined all interviews this
Yeah, you
week.
want to know why? Because
And
no
his
one wants to
offense-
hire him. Because no one wants to hire him.
They will
Yeah.
now.
Well, maybe after last night. Also,
They should. I mean, his
such a-
offense torched the
If I
best
was
in the conference.
He's a little better from the,
If I was
the way
another
he was
head
handled
coach,
last time, though.
if I was
He's a
another
little
coach,
better.
I'd be furious if Cliff Kingsbury for doing that. Like showboating, being like, I'll do it after the playoffs. Like all the coaches interview now. In 2022, everyone likes to point to Gannon taking those interviews. Shane Steichen took interviews too, and the offense was fine. So it's a fine system. It's fine he took the interviews.
It's not a fine system.
It is a fine system.
It's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
Because you have coaches spending hours preparing for another job while they're coaching this week. I don't blame Kellen.
What if the Eagles need to hire a coach? How would you
Ellie,
feel about it?
I don't blame Kellen Moore, but the system is silly. I
Why?
mean,
Well, see, no. If the Eagles needed to hire a coach, I would be totally fine and say that they weren't in the playoffs. I'd be fine waiting. What's the rush?
I think
Why
it's
do you
fine.
need to
You can
interview
say
guys
you
right
would
now?
Because no team should have to sit there for 7 or 8 weeks without a head coach. It puts them in a
What else are
massive-
they doing? It's not a
We
recruiting
can hire a
service.
head coach. Get started.
They're not
Get him
getting
in the
late for
building.
recruiting season. This isn't college.
If the Eagles get eliminated because Kellen Moore spent 4 hours on a Zoom call this week, then they don't deserve to win anyway.
I mean, and let's be honest, that when he was interviewing with those teams, what was it, Carolina? Well, no, Jacksonville,
New Orleans, Dallas.
Dallas.
All three of y'all teams suck. Y'all need a quarterback. What else is there to talk about?
Yeah,
Because
it's a
all three
quick Zoom.
of them need a quarterback.
I think it's overblown, and we just use it as an excuse. If the offense doesn't play well today, it's not because he took interviews. And if it does play well today, I'll be curious to hear how many people want to say then it doesn't matter that he took.
Well, listen. It doesn't work that way, and you know it doesn't work that way. So it is about the results. If they don't play well today from an offensive standpoint, people will point to that he wasn't focused. I mean, there were people calling out his offensive game plan last week. Now, we may say they're trying to cater to what Jalen does well or what have you, but the bottom line is the creativity in the offense seems to be lacking at times. And if they lose this game because there seems to be a lack of creativity in the offense, people are going to point at that with Kellen Moore. Whether you agree with it or not, that is a legitimate argument when you're in a game week to go to the NFC Championship game and you have 3 job interviews that you have to apply for. And
it's the volume, 3. It's a lot.
If it was 1, that's one thing. But I don't buy the idea that it doesn't take away from your preparation here. Of course it does. Of course it does.
Those are hours you spent doing something else.
And we'll see how much it does. I mean, we'll see. But to just blatantly say it's not going to have any impact on the game today, I don't know that yet.
Well, yeah, we don't know. We'll see how the game plays out.
I need to see what the offense looks like.
But to what you just said, the offense wasn't creative last week, and he didn't do any interviews before that game.
Yeah, but how do I know he's not already preparing for stuff?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like these agents, just because it becomes public one week doesn't mean his agent hasn't already got an idea.
I think
that he has teams that are interested in him, and should he be looking? I don't know any of that stuff. I'm just saying when you lose, somebody's getting the finger pointed at him, and he's not going to be absolved. If the offense doesn't look good.
If the offense looks bad today, I agree it will come up. I just don't think it's the big kind of distraction people make it out to be. I think you're right. It does take away some preparation. You're right about that. But I don't believe this is like a huge note that on Monday, if they lose, it's because Kellen took the interview. You're right. It takes time. But people bring it up.
We just witnessed it with Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, obviously Philly fans are sensitive to it.
That was wrong, though.
I understand that, Ellie. You mean you just disagree with it?
Yeah, I disagree.
You don't know. It's not factually wrong.
Well, you're right. No one knows for sure. I know the Eagles don't believe it was because of that, but also
they'll never say that.
They'll never say it, right?
Yeah.
Shane Steichen also took interviews, and the offense was fine in that game. So you kind of I think it's one of those things where you see what you want to see here. If you think it's a problem, then on Monday if they lose, you'll be mad about it.
Listen, 3 people are getting blamed unless we give up 30 points. The defense damn near got a free pass unless they just crap the bed today.
Yeah.
It's either going to be Nick, Jalen, or
Kellen. That's it. That's the way it works. All right. Coming up.
Or Jake.
Yeah.
Or Jake.
We'll talk about that.
Just
Coming
not
up.
Saquon. Yeah.
Merrill Reese will join us. He's his keys to the game. Thank you, Devin. Have a great broadcast.
Thanks, guys.
All right. The Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
PNC Private Bank knows that anything can happen on the gridiron, and being prepared goes a long way. It's not so different with your wealth. Having a dedicated local team of specialized advisors who take a calculated, disciplined approach to managing your wealth leads to a lot of wins. The PNC Private Bank team knows that just like in football, that kind of preparation is good for your financial game. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Eagles All-Pro wide receiver Mike Quick. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon and Philly's got you. Trade in any phone for one of their top brands in any condition. Guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at any Philly area Verizon store.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Know what's below, because even minor excavation projects like installing a mailbox, building a patio, or putting up a fence can do major damage. Contact 811 before you dig, or visit pa1call.org to submit a locate request to have underground utilities marked.
Dear Winter, you're not so treacherous because Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's saying something. So you bring the action and we'll bring the traction. Always Toyota. Toyota, let's go places.
This week at Acme, don't miss the digital deals for strawberries or jumbo blueberries for $2.99 each. Clip these deals and unlock hundreds more when you sign up for Acme For You. Visit acmemarkets.com/4U or download the Acme mobile app to sign up and save today. This week at Acme, don't miss the playoff special items of the week. Snapple Tea 12-pack bottles for $7.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
This is Merrill Reese. Just like your ritual of watching the birds, wellness is a ritual. At Hand & Stone, memberships make it easy with preferred pricing, wellness guidance, and more. Start your routine with an introductory massage or facial starting at just $79.95. Both are designed to help you reach your deepest results. With 60 area locations and introductory pricing starting at $79.95, building your wellness routine has never been easier. Book online at handandstone.com or visit them in spa today.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Because when the lights are on, that's when preparation meets opportunity. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Bird Gang Spirits is made for the true Philly fans, the pre-gamers, tailgaters, dieharders, and lifelongers. Now you can raise a glass to number 25 himself, Eagles legend LaShawn Shady McCoy, with their new very limited edition Bird Gang Shady Bourbon Whiskey. Crafted to honor Shady's induction into the Eagles Hall of Fame, this special release is the spirit of Philly pride in every pour. Pre-order now to reserve a bottle or two of LaShawn Shady McCoy's Bird Gang Kentucky Bourbon at BOTLD.com. Please drink responsibly.
Talking to Donovan McNabb tomorrow, 4 o'clock on the afternoon show with Ike, Spike, and Fritz.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon alongside Ike Reese, Hugh Douglas, Elliott Shore Parks. I'm Joe Giglio. We'll get to Elliott's keys to the game coming up in a little bit. Right now, though, we go out and talk to the voice of the Eagles. He'll be on the call today with Mike Quick and Devin Caney. It is Merrill Reese. Merrill, how are we doing today?
Good, Joe. I have to tell you, I expected that about this time I'd be looking down trying to distinguish the sideline and the numbers and see a covered field the way we did back in 2013, but there's none of that. It's a cold, icy rain, but the field is completely clear from a visibility standpoint.
Yeah, so far, not bad. We'll see what happens as the game starts. I think the heavier stuff scheduled to come in maybe during the game. Merrill, let's get to those keys for the Eagles to get to and host the NFC title game. What do you got for us, Merrill?
Number one, turnovers kill. I think you've heard that before. They killed the Lions last night, 5 of them. In this game, 1 at the wrong time could be the difference.
It was a killer last night for Detroit. I mean, especially late in the game when they were only down 10. That Jamison Williams pick was the nail in the coffin. Turnover battle. If the Eagles win it, they're in great shape. What do you got for number 2, Merrill?
Number 2, get to Matthew Stafford. The Eagles sacked the future Hall of Famer 5 times out there. 6 or 7 would be delightful.
Well, if they could get even 3 or 4, I'd love that. Stafford's great, but if he's pressured, it's been brought up a lot on the show today, Merrill, he will turn it over. He'll put it in harm's way, and we know he's struggled in the rain and the cold in the past. How about key number 3, Merrill?
All right, you may find this a bit different, but Saquon Barkley had his day of days in the game at SoFar Stadium. The Rams will be focused on number 26. Jalen Hurts will need to connect with the big 3, Brown, Smith, and Goddard.
The passing game, get it revved up, get a lead early, and help put the Rams away. Merrill, have a great broadcast. Hopefully you can see everything on the field throughout it. And let's do this again next week, Merrill, getting ready for a title game.
So far, so good. Have a good afternoon, guys.
There he goes. Reese there.
Got in and got out, didn't
he? He did. Well, Merrill's got a game to broadcast here. This is playoff Merrill. This isn't normal Merrill. Interesting there. He said He's looking for the Eagles to throw the ball a little bit today, Elliot. I wasn't expecting that from Merrill.
Oh, boy.
Well, the weather certainly looks like it'll cooperate with that. Right now, it feels like a day to throw the
I
ball.
don't know why the hell y'all trying to throw the damn football.
Well, they're
playing
gonna
against this
run it.
small-ass
Let's be
defensive
real.
line.
Yeah, they're gonna run it.
Man, run the damn ball, man. Come on, man. Let's not get cute today. Run the ball, and just get this. Let's get this W.
I mean, I don't disagree. I think you've convinced I think
Run the ball.
This entire crowd's going to start chanting "Run the ball" if they don't do that by the middle of the first quarter. I mean,
So they should run the ball. I agree. But when they do pass it, they do have good matchups. You look at the last time they played, A.J. Brown had an awesome game. I think, Goddard had a good game. Like, they can take care of the back seven. So, yes.
They have good matchups every week.
I would, exactly. Like, I would run the ball.
That's the problem.
No, it's the guy taking advantage of the matchup.
It's the execution.
Right. No, I agree with that. But they once again do have good matchups with the back seven.
Well, and we'll see if they and look today. I don't know what's happened with the weather, but if we think it's going to get bad late, a lead early is the key to this game because it might be impossible to throw in the second half. So, however they got to do it, get a lead early.
That's a good point.
Get up, and the Rams pass rush. I don't want them up because the Rams pass rush is built to play from ahead, like we saw Monday night.
The Eagles have gotten a lead in 5 straight games, something that they certainly weren't that good at early in the year. And McVay in the playoffs, 1-4 when he doesn't score first.
That's it.
So go get a lead, and the Rams are not good at coming back.
Yeah, and their pass rush is built to play from ahead. That's why they sacked Arnold so much. They were up 2 scores. They pinned their ears back.
The Rams are a soft finesse team. That's what they are. They're a scheme finesse team. That's not what the Eagles are.
You heard him, Joe.
The Eagles are built to push the Rams.
I wouldn't call the Rams offense soft and finesse.
I would. They're soft finesse.
I would not.
You think Kyron Williams is a power running back? Puka Nacua is tough.
He had the third most carries in the league. Like he's not.
That doesn't mean he's tough. He's a finesse
If
back.
you have 300 carries, you're not a soft running back.
I disagree with that. I'm talking about the style.
I've never thought McVay's teams are soft. I've never felt that.
I disagree. They're playing a dome. They're a scheme offense. I think they're a finesse team.
I hope you're right. All right, coming up, ESP's 3 keys to the game.
Salt.
The Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Kick off game day the right way this season with Hers, the snack that's rooted in Philly. They've been a hometown favorite for nearly 8 decades and counting. So when you say their first team all flavor, you can taste it. Hers runs a deep roster of unbelievable flavors like zesty, sour cream and onion, sweet and smoky honey barbecue, and slightly spicy jalapeno kettle chips. So next Birds game, you can't help but go for 2. Bags, that is. Hers, rooted in flavor.
Carrier has the home comfort you need and financing options to fit any budget. Right now, you can enjoy 60 months financing on a new home comfort system. Turn to your local Carrier dealer for efficient heating and cooling performance, healthier indoor air, and convenient monthly payments for qualified buyers. Visit nopaycarrier.com. That's nopaycarrier.com. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Benefits, HR, hiring, payroll, it's also complicated, but it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Joe Carfagno from Clear Employer Services, and we can expertly handle benefits, HR, hiring, and payroll for your small business. You don't have to wing it. Let me take the headache out of HR. No time for payroll? HRuncomplicated.com. New medical plans, new talent? HRuncomplicated.com. Let Clear Employer Services show you how to make HR uncomplicated so you can go back to running your business.
Preferred vendor of Independence Blue Cross. Visit HRuncomplicated.com.
Jack Daniels, tailgating, and the Birds. It doesn't get any better. So stop by your local PA Fine Wine and Good Spirits store and stock up for the game with the original Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey, along with Jack Daniels Fire and Jack Daniels Honey. Or grab a case of Jack and Coke or Jack and Coke Zero Sugar, now ready to drink in a can. Jack Daniels, born for the tailgate. Whiskey specialty, 7% ABV. Jack Daniels Distillery, Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels and Old Number 7 are registered trademarks of Jack Daniels Properties, Inc. Coca-Cola is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Where will Jalen look this year?
Left, right, over the middle? He's a smart guy. He'll be looking for the Deborah Heart and Lung Center Red Zone. And with good reason. Like the birds, Deborah has raised the bar on cardiac excellence by being named a high-performing hospital by U.S. News and World Report. And our alliance with Cleveland Clinic Heart, Vascular, and Thoracic Institute means that our patients get the highest quality of care that they deserve. After all, when it's your heart, your red zone, you don't take chances. DemandDeborah.org.
This week at Acme, don't miss the digital deals for strawberries or jumbo blueberries for $2.99 each. Clip these deals and unlock hundreds more when you sign up for Acme For You. Visit acmemarkets.com/4U or download the Acme mobile app to sign up and save today.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This week at Acme, don't miss the playoff special items of the week. Snapple Tea 12-pack bottles for $7.99 each. Stop in and discover why football is better at Acme, your tailgating headquarters.
Hear Nick Sirianni's presser after the game on 94 WIP. You're listening to the Verizon Pregame Show on the Eagles Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. We're getting close now. Kickoff around 3 o'clock. Eagles-Rams, the right to host the title game. Let's get to the keys to the game brought to you by United Tire for the best tire price anywhere. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
3 keys with ESP.
All right, number one key to winning this game, stop Puka Nacua. We haven't said his name at all somehow yet on this pregame show. He's their best player on offense. Cooper Kupp is not who he used to be. Tyler Higbee has barely played this year, and Kyron Williams is soft, as we just discussed. So Puka Nacua, the matchup's actually going to be Darius Slay on him. That's who he lines up from across the most. So Darius Slay versus Puka Nacua, win that matchup, and you slow down the Rams' offense.
Well, and in Los Angeles, Elliott, they did a pretty good job on Nacua. He got a couple catches and a touchdown late, almost garbage time, but I thought they kept him in check for the most part in that game.
So number two for me, get the ball from Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams has fumbled the ball 5 times this year. He did it 2 times alone in the game against the Eagles. The Eagles are awesome at going after the football. Kyron Williams is good at giving up the football. Get some turnovers today, score off those turnovers, and this could be a celebration by the fourth quarter.
You know, that's a huge one. That first game, we remember it as 37-20. Eagles blew them out. They moved the ball the first 2 possessions up and down the field. I think they only got 3 total points out of it. One of them was that fumble. I don't think he's soft, but he will put the ball on the ground.
I think he's soft, yeah. But, all right, number 3, tackling is key. This Eagles defense, when they tackle well, it's almost impossible to score on them. Matthew Stafford gets rid of the ball quickly. They don't do long developing routes. They're going to come over the middle. Obviously, Trotter, Oren Burks, Zach Bond, tackle them when they get over the middle. Don't let short completions turn into long completions. Tackling is going to be key.
All right. Are we concerned about them going after the backup linebacker? I feel like McVay's going to try to scheme things up to isolate whoever's in there for Nakobe Dean. Ike, you worried about that a little bit?
Not at all, man. Listen,
right,
Jeremiah's ready. He's been waiting on this moment, man. He's ready to play. Doesn't mean he won't give up a catch or something like that, but I don't think he'll be a liability out there today.
I also think if they're going to go after Trotter, his whole calling card is football IQ. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make a play. If they think they're going to trick him, if they're going to catch him off guard, that's what he's good at, is anticipating what's going to happen. Maybe an interception for Trotter.
Could you imagine this crowd of Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
go crazy. He
makes
does the
a big
Axeman
pick?
celebration.
Well, listen, that axe is coming out today, and just know it.
Pause.
Get ready, everyone. All right. So we have a tradition here on the show. You hear it right there. Every game this year, we have had a fan join us up here to lead us in an Eagles chant heading into a break. So before we give our predictions, we got Chris up here with us. Chris, you ready to go?
Let's go.
Let's do it. The floor is yours.
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles!
Now we're talking.
LA! There you go.
There we go.
That
Was a play. I like that. All right, coming up on the other side, our predictions on the game. This is the Eagles Radio Network presented by PNC Bank. Brilliantly boring since 1865 on 94 WIP.
Hey, Eagles fans, this is Merrill Reese. Phones weren't made to be broken, but life happens. So when you break your phone, Verizon in Philly's got you. Trade in any phone from one of their top brands in any condition, guaranteed, and get a great deal on one of their best 5G phones with unlimited ultimate. Switch now and save. Available at a Philly area Verizon store.
We could tell you what it's like to drive the Nissan Rogue and tell you all about its performance capabilities, like its VC turbo engine. It's I can go virtually anywhere type of freedom. Nice. But you don't have to take our word for it. Go drive it for yourself. You're up. Experience the power of the Nissan Rogue.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Get 2.9% financing for 60 months on the 2025 Nissan Rogue. Visit your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today. For well-qualified buyers, 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on new 2025 Rogue and dealer stock. Example, 0 down payment. 60 months financing at $17.92 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to residency restrictions and INMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 2/3/25.
It's happening again. Those missed tackles are starting to stack up. Your friends pleading with players who can't hear them, sweating it out week after week. But not you. Why? Because whether they score or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx Casino app. New casino users score up to $1,000 bonus back in their first 24 hours. Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 plus. Located in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan. New users only. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. Casino bonus must be wagered.
I'm Mark Lynch, business manager of IBEW Local Union 98. We're proud to support the Birds as they march on the road to victory in pursuit of a championship. Local Union 98's 5,500 highly trained members, along with our partners, Nika, Pendel, Jersey, apply that same passion and drive to every project. We're dedicated to maintaining Philadelphia's status as a championship city. For superior craftsmanship, completed using the latest methods, always with safety in mind, use the top-notch professionals of IBEW Local Union 98. Go Birds.
Hosting a crowd for game day? Sprouts Farmers Market has all the sips, snacks, and apps to fuel your champion cheering. You'll find it easy to fuel the crowd with the season's best peak season produce, delicious grab-and-go meals that are ready to heat, eat, or cook, and so much more. Plus, explore aisles of innovative finds, high-quality meat and seafood, and delicious made-to-order sandwiches. Visit your Philadelphia area Sprouts today and discover all the touchdown-worthy must-haves to cheer your team on.
We are all quarterbacks of our financial future, and we have to be boldly committed to the process. It begins with a game plan, preparing yourself for success on and off the field. Not just thinking about short-term wins, but long-term goals. And the best part about winning is winning as one. Build your tomorrow with Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln Financial is the marketing name for Lincoln National Corporation and affiliates, copyright 2024. Lincoln Financial is a sponsor of Jalen Hurts, who has received compensation.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling if it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Playoff football, Eagles, Rams. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the WIP afternoon show with Ike, Spike, and Fritz, 2 o'clock.
This is the Verizon Pregame Show on Eagles Radio.
Welcome back to the Verizon Pregame Show. The Philadelphia Eagles powered by Verizon. 3 o'clock kickoff. Lincoln Financial Field for the right to host the NFC Championship Game. All right, guys, it's that time of the day. Let's give our predictions. How does it play out? Who wins? Hugh Douglas, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, I got what? I had an odd score, man, and I don't know why, but it was just stuck in my head. I'm thinking 27-12 Eagles.
27-12.
Yeah, it
Eagles.
was that's an odd
right,
score, but that was
I
kind
like
of
it.
stuck in my head. Yeah, 27-12.
How they doing it? Run the ball?
Run the ball. This you wanted to go long on this. I thought we were going quick.
I'm just wondering what
No,
you're
I'm
thinking.
just saying. No, I'm just thinking run the ball. You know me, I'll play it safe. I don't think this is another game that, you play to your advantage. You play to your strengths. You run the ball. You lean on those smaller defensive linemen, man, and you let the weather do what the weather does. They're coming from L.A. They're not used to playing in this weather. When that wind get to whipping around, man, and everything like that, there's going to be some business decisions that are being made. So, 27-12. I'm thinking 27-12.
All right, I got an Eagles win, but I think this one is closer. 20-17. Eagles win the game. Tight game, low-scoring game. Defense holds the Rams down the fourth quarter. 20-17. We're back here next week. Elliot, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think last week was the warm-up. Today's the statement win. I think the Eagles play way better. I think today's a game we're going to remember for a long time, a lot of memorable moments. And I think we'll be right back here next week for the NFC Championship game. I'm going 27-10 Eagles.
Ooh, the defense doing the job. All right. Ike Reese, take us home. What do you got?
Well, I'll make it unanimous, of course. I got the Eagles winning this game. I do believe it's going to be a defensive win once again, along with Saquon Barkley having his sort of signature moment of the postseason so far. I think this is a Saquon Barkley game. I think the defense does an outstanding job. We win this game 27-13, and we're back here next week, NFC Championship game.
For an NFC title game. All right, everyone, enjoy it. The Eagles and the Rams are coming up next with Merrill and Mike and